Hey everyone, it's Tim. Today is May 18th, 2021. Um, so I feel like, and it may just be me, but I feel like my voice has gotten like this much deeper, and I don't really feel like I'm trying to, because you can make your voice deep like this, you know what I mean? Like I don't really feel like I'm doing that, but I feel like it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I really feel like my voice has like gotten a little bit deeper, which is kind of exciting to me, and it could fully be in my head, but I feel like it's not. My legs are definitely like, my leg hair is like longer, and I feel like it's a little bit darker now, so people can actually see hair on my legs, which is exciting. But I haven't like grown any like armpit hair yet. Like I'm still shaving it because I feel like I want to be more presenting as male until I grow that out. So I'm still shaving it, which is just like my personal experience and what I would prefer. My face, like my skin, but if this is what I look like, like my skin is like a little bit like, I don't know, like rougher, like it's changing a little bit. I don't have a struggle with acne right now. You can see like a couple little things. I have rosacea, and when I eat dairy, like I have really bad reactions to it, like on my face. Like you can see like up here, I have like a scar, and kind of over here, and that typically tends to be where I have a lot of acne breakout when I eat dairy from the rosacea that I have. Also, that was self-diagnosed rosacea, but when I don't eat dairy, I don't have it. When I'm in the heat, it gets really bad. When I'm not in the heat, it's fine. So like my favorite thing to do is be out in the sun and just like soak up the sun and get energy from the sun like a cold-blooded animal. Like snakes or lizards. So it sucks because I like can't really do that comfortably, or like if I do, I know that I'm gonna like suffer on my face for the next like 5 days. Other than that, my girlfriend and I are doing, I don't know if it's just like the residual happiness that I'm feeling from taking testosterone, but we're doing so great. And like as in relationships, you kind of like fluctuate. Things are really great, and then it kind of just like plateaus, and then you do really great, and then it's like, oh, okay. We are so happy, and it is so great, and we're just really like vibing on like the same frequency right now, instead of one person being up here and the other over here. And if you haven't experienced that, you will when you get into like a real like awesome legit relationship. Like it's not always peaches and cream, but when you find someone you really care about, it's that sometimes you just need to refill your cup of iced coffee where all the ice in your coffee has melted, so you just need to put more ice in the coffee to make it enjoyable. You know what I mean? If you don't, you will one day. But yeah, I mean, it's just I'm so happy. Yesterday in my therapy appointment, I was telling my therapist how happy I was, and she was telling me that when you take hormone replacement therapy, because of the way that the hormones are balancing out chemicals in your brain and things like that, like it actually acts as an antidepressant, which is such a strange experience to me, because before, like I wouldn't have considered myself like a depressed person. I just always thought that I was a down to earth person who just kind of was always just very aloof. I was always like very half present, like not always like fully there. And I feel like now that was not the person I was meant to be, and that isn't who I am. And I'm fully learning and understanding this as I'm transitioning, is just really fully coming out of my shell. Like I was such a socially anxious person. I could not imagine meeting anyone new. Like I would panic, I would freak out, I would physically, literally shut down. Like there's several experiences I could tell you about in which that happened, but I don't want to get into like a negative note. But last Friday we went to a wine bar here called Little Death, and I met some new people, and I was just excited to have them know who I was. And that is the first time in my entire life since I was probably 19, 20, give or take, that actually happened to me. And that was just such a surreal experience. I've asked my girlfriend, because we live together, like, she sees me, 24/7 essentially, except for when we're at work. So she obviously is the person who sees me the most, who knows me the most, and I've asked her, like, how have I changed in the 2 shots of testosterone I've had already? Because I do it every Thursday. And so I'm 1 full week on testosterone. Actually a little bit longer, but and she said that I've literally done like a 180. I'm fully 180 degrees, a person that like she would have never recognized before. Now, which is such a great experience, because I think that people see transitioning as just a purely physical transition, and it absolutely isn't. It's more mental than anything. You're just matching your body with how you feel, right? You're affirming yourself, you're affirming your gender, you're aligning with yourself, right? And when that happens, you also have a big mental change of you are finally becoming who you are, right? Who your true self is. And I never in my life would have anticipated the mental space that I have now. If I would have known now that the hardest part of my life was just getting people to call me Tim rather than my birth name and my dead name, I would have taken that over anything. And, I would consider myself, now that I know, I would consider myself a depressed person. I was fully depressed. Maybe I didn't want to accept it. Maybe I saw how other people dealt with their episodes of depression, and I was like, that's not me. It's not that bad. I'm just here. I'm kind of just, like I wouldn't consider myself that kind of depressed person. And now fully in this state that I am in, I knew that I was extremely depressed. I had severe social anxiety. I had so many things going on with myself that I needed to fix and deal with, that I just never did, because I would put other people before me. I didn't want to acknowledge or deal with it or figure out what was going on. And when I finally accepted myself in December of last year, and I told my girlfriend, and we had, it wasn't the perfect conversation, I would say, when I first told her, and we've had several conversations since then, and I couldn't imagine having anyone else in my corner. I just want people to know that you will be okay. Everything in your life will be okay if you just really try to work to make those things in your life that you're avoiding better. And it might hurt, it might suck for a while, but you will fully be okay in your life if you really just try to accept yourself for who you are. And I didn't for 9 years of my life. And when I finally did, I see the world in different colors. Everything is brighter. Everything is happier. The birds singing and whistling, like it's a song that I want to hear, and I enjoy it so much more than I ever had before. And I always enjoyed it. That was always one thing about life that I always liked to do. Sit out in the morning with a cup of coffee and just listen to the world wake up. And I see it in a different way now. And it's all just because I have finally accepted myself for who I am. And it took so long, and I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. I lived in fear of how other people would see me and think of me, especially at work, where I'm still a little, but I'm actually actively like telling people like, hey, this is my name, these are my pronouns. I would really love if you would get on board with me and with this. And everyone I've told so far has fully accepted me and supported me, and I did not think that was going to happen. And I stopped myself from having this joyful experience because I was afraid of it, and it is just not the case. And we're moving into a different world where we're more accepting and not just tolerating it, we're accepting it and we're fully embracing what's happening. And there are some people within the organization I work for that probably are going to be a little bit not even not supportive, but a little bit hateful towards me. But at the end of the day, they're not going to stop me from my life and my journey. So whether or not I'm afraid of them is not going to, it's not going to stop me from living this life that I have that's filled with joy now. So, of anything at all, I just want you to know that you can grow up and be queer, gay, lesbian, bisexual, anything under the sun, and that is not cis and straight. You can be as weird as fuck as you want to be, kids. And you know what? By the way, I call everyone kids. I'm not addressing children out there, but I hope that someone hears this and finds some type of solace in the fact that, you know, their school experience, which I've had a terrible school experience, and I hated it so bad. I was in and out of school all the time, being homeschooled and then back in school when I finally dropped out, that, you know, you will be okay. And kids can be cruel because they don't understand, and it's the influence of their parents, and they're only meeting you where they understand where they're coming from. And at the end of the day, we have to try to understand the perspective of where people are meeting us at. And if it's rude and hateful and mean and scary, it's because that's all they know. And our jobs are not to educate them, but I think if anything, our jobs is to understand. And when you understand, it hurts you less because you know that they're not doing it to you. They're doing it because of their own selves and their own experience and their own education or lack thereof of whatever is going on. So just hang in there, accept yourself, express yourself, explore yourself, and everything is going to be okay. So that's all for now. I probably won't upload another one this week, but I'll see y'all next week. Love y'all. Be safe out there. See you soon.